Good morning and welcome to our devotions for today, Friday, the end of another week. For me, the end of a week of serious reflection and engagement as I participated in a conference that looked at human trafficking and modern day slavery here in Tanzania. It has truly been an insightful time, but also a heart wrenching time to realize that after persons have gone through so many centuries and we have thought that we had gotten past such horrible treatment of human beings, to know that it still continues, and in many ways to a larger degree perhaps than those initial days of transatlantic slavery. But it occurs in a way that seems so well hidden from plain sight that many of us go on without even realizing that this occurs. And so it's been a very engaging week for me, and I trust that all that I have received may be of use in the months and years to come. And so this morning, as this week comes to an end and this conference comes to an end, I invite us to hold in our hearts those who, in an effort to find a better life, in an effort to go somewhere where the grass is perhaps greener, to hold such persons in our hearts, and also hold the truth that there's nothing like the now. And in this journey, we are forever either running from yesterday or running to tomorrow with the hope that tomorrow will look even brighter. And we fail to realize that the only time that we really have is now, in this moment. So let us come into that sense of presence, letting go of time and just being present in this moment, knowing that this is the only time that we do have, the only moment that we do have. And so we take a nice deep breath allowing ourselves to feel the divine presence, breathing in and out, and recognizing and acknowledging this stillness, this peace, this presence. And as we come to that place of peace, of stillness, let's open our hearts. Let's open our hearts wide in this safe space where we are protected, where there's no fear, where there's no danger. Let's open our hearts wide and just feel that divine love coming in through our hearts and permeating our entire being, setting aflame that presence within us, that sense of God. That divine sense of being loved and being loved. Just holding that and allowing the breath to come in and out of that space. Just being at peace with it. Knowing that in moments like these when we so focus that we're actually breathing the divine. We're consciously putting ourselves in touch with God, bringing ourselves in alignment with God's presence and God's love, compassion, understanding, forgiveness. We open our hearts to receive that healing love. And as we open our hearts, we recognize how important it is to be aware of that inner path, that inner journey, that inner awareness. Taking our attention away from the externals that are so caught up with yesterday and tomorrow, and fail to recognize the truth of this moment, the reality of this moment. Breathe a while in this awareness. As we continue this devotion, just allow yourself to remain in that presence, in that space, in that quiet space. When you're on a journey, it is certainly helpful to know where you're going, or at least the general direction in which you are moving. But don't forget, the only thing that is ultimately real about your journey is the step that you are taking at this moment. That's all there ever is. Your life's journey has an outer purpose and an inner purpose. The outer purpose is to arrive at your goal or destination, to accomplish what you set out to do, to achieve this or that which of course implies future. But if your destination or the steps you are going to take in the future take up so much of your attention that they have become more important to you than the step you're taking now, then you completely miss the journey's inner purpose, which has nothing to do with where you are going or what you are doing, but everything to do with how. It has nothing to do with future, but everything to do with the quality of your consciousness at this moment. The outer purpose belongs to the horizontal dimension of space and time. The inner purpose concerns a deepening of your being in the vertical dimension of the timeless now. Your outer journey may contain a million steps. Your inner journey only has one. The step you are taking right now. As you become more deeply aware of this one step, you realize that it already contains within itself all the other steps as well as the destination. This one step then becomes transformed into an expression of perfection, an act of great beauty and quality. It will have taken you into being, and the light of being will shine through it. This is both the purpose and the fulfillment of your inner journey, the journey into yourself. Eckhart Tolle has really brought for us a modern day expansion of the message of our Lord Jesus the Christ. A message which reminds us that today is the day of salvation. Now is the time of salvation. The sense of the moment, this moment, the present moment, and the importance of recognizing that the inner journey is the only journey that concerns itself with the present moment. The outer journey is always seeking to adjust based on what it remembers from yesterday and what it hopes to get to tomorrow. It is hardly ever present to the now. This week we were reflecting as an overarching theme on calming the storms of life. And the calming of the storms of life can only happen in the present moment. In the moment when we engage. When we engage the now. When we move from the now, the storms rage. Because when we move from the now, we move into the guilt of yesterday, which in itself is a serious raging storm. Or we move into the anxiety and the fear of what tomorrow will look like, what will happen in the next few minutes. And both of these cannot bring peace, cannot generate calm. The only thing that can generate calmness is to stay present, to stay focused on the now and where you are and how this moment is for you, this moment and this moment alone. To be able to act out of the moment and to allow oneself to be guided by the divine presence that is within us all. When I think of all that I have experienced this week, I recognize that at the basis of it all is a world that is forever encouraging us to look beyond ourselves and to look beyond this moment. We look back at the past and we see the challenges of those who have gone before us. And we want to run away from their hardships. Hardships as perceived by ourselves. Hardships when we look at them from an external place without at the same time also recalling the joy of family, of community, of working together, of being at peace, of support. But those are not the things that we think of because those are things of a particular moment. What we see is the collective past as we compare it to what we see around us. And on the other side of this engagement is the desire to be able to have what others have. To be able to have something of my own, something more. All this leads to persons putting their lives at risk for that which is an illusion. And then there are those who know of this need and have derived tremendous profit from that desire of individuals to get from where they are to get to a place where they can make more and they can have a great life. And these persons prey on such desires, and persons end up with a life situation that is far worse than the one from which they sought escape. Some die on the way. Our faith traditions are really intended to bring us into the now. And not me and not you, but each one of us. And if each one of us could make that effort to engage this inner journey, we would be amazed how we could transform the world outside of ourselves. But we make all of our focus the external world. Sitting in conference this week, I reflected on all of the new acronyms for organizations that are being created almost every day, and each one seeking to do something. All of the new laws that are created every day to combat some new aspect of the same old problem. And we don't realize that you cannot solve anything in the same arena that it was created. A paraphrase of Albert Einstein's famous statement. All of this is created on the outside. The solution remains in the journey within. We cannot force an understanding of human dignity on the outside. We can only understand and embrace human dignity when we journey in to ourselves and we discern within ourselves that divine dignity which belongs to each person. So Tholi offers us once again a reaffirmation of the importance of the inner journey, heavily and fully related to the present moment, to living in the now, and to being in the now. This is the work we must do.
Open my eyes that I may see glimpses of truth thou hast for me. Place in my hands the wonderful key that shall unclasp and set me free.
Silently now I wait for thee, ready my God thy will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me, Spirit divine. Open my ears that I may hear voices of truth thou sendest clear. And while the wave notes fall on my ear, everything false will disappear. Silently now I wait for thee, ready my God thy will to see. Open my ears, illumine me, Spirit divine. Open my mouth and let me bear gladly the warm truth everywhere. Open my heart and let me prepare love with thy children thus to share. Silently now I wait for thee, ready my God Open my heart.